before we do anything else, the name of the game is Sexy Brutale. There is no actual sex in here. This is going to be a very dour, serious experience because the name is referring to the casino that it takes place in. You understand that, second guy?
This will be a no-fun league kind of game. And I like the NFL because it has
absolute try hard, solving all of the puzzles as quickly and efficiently as possible. Nothing will be enjoyable in this entire thing.
I like isometric angles. Do we have those?
We do, in fact, have isometric angles, and it's very point-and-click style of game, which, again, not sexy. Not in a sexy point-and-click way. This is no Leisure Suit Larry if you were clicking on this video looking for that.
Is it brutal?
Yeah, kind of. I mean, it's brutal in certain aspects.
Okay. Is it sexy in certain aspects?
No. Hey, have you not been paying attention to anything I've been saying so far? There's no sex in this game.
Oh, shit. Well, that's the reason I agreed to do this, but okay. Well, I guess I'm still here.
All right. I'll admit right now, I don't actually know if there's no sex in this game. I guess I haven't gotten that far just yet, but as of right now, it is. It looks more or less like this.
That does look nice. Kind of. It does definitely remind me of, like, you know, a Hades studio, whatever they're called.
Supergiant. Yeah,
Supergiant,
they do a lot of isometric. I don't know. It feels like, aside from Supergiant games, I haven't really seen like isometric games in a while. They were all the rage, like back in the 90s and everything, because that was a very easy way to show semi 3D space.
Yeah. It was kind of like that era that was defined by the Bomberman games. The Bomberman 3D games.
Okay, I was going to say, well, not the Bomberman games. Those are 2D. Overhead, but yeah.
I think the one for the GameCube was isometric.
Yeah, GameCube, and GameCube might have been the isometric one. I'm trying to think, because I know what you're talking about. I played all the Bomberman games for the N64. And I think the second game was sort of like that. It had like fixed camera angles.
Yeah. But anyway, I mean, it's a fun little. It's not a gimmick. It really is like you can do. I mean, Hades was a great game. You can do just about anything you can do in 3D, and it feels 2D at the same time. It's kind of the best of both worlds in certain ways.
Which is extremely important for this game because it's like you're going to be examining every little part of every single room. Because, you know, you need to look around for... Like, trying to navigate in, like, a 3D space when you have to be very careful about spying on people, as you can see right now, is... Yeah. That would be difficult.
I think the one thing you can't really do, the one dimension, if you will, that you lose in isometric angles is you can't really go up and down. It just doesn't make as much sense. You kind of... Up and down has to mean, like, forward and back in the... You know what I mean? So
yeah, it is... Thankfully, it's like I don't even have to worry too much about that because it is entirely, like... mouse controlled, at least movement wise. This is not going to be an extremely actiony type of game. It's going to be very like slow and meticulous is how I would probably describe it.
So not sexy nor brutal.
I mean, it's pretty... I mean, I don't know. I feel like it makes up with that, with its very weird style where you just wake up and then this tentacle blood woman is just like, hey, here's a magic mask. Have fun.
This is a very strange game so far, and I have no idea what we're doing, but it's interesting.
I mean, we're walking around and we're spying on this guy. His name is Sixpence. We'll find that out a little bit later, but yeah, I'm trying to inch the camera just a little bit more over to the right. Can't see it. You do? So because I'd love to know a little bit more about that. Oh,
wow.
Well, that's what happened. And there's your premise for the game.
Yep.
So
why can't we see that other character? That seems like a limitation of the isometric.
Yes, it sure does. Especially the whole peephole mechanic, wouldn't you say?
Yeah.
And yeah, we got classic type of modern horror game mechanics here, hiding inside of closets. Yeah. Anyway, that's the guy I couldn't see. I hope you weren't thinking that was going to be like a game-wide mystery.
I feel like, yeah, I did.
Nothing so pedantic in this game, trust me.
I guess the way that he has a mask on, so it's still a mystery.
I suppose so. Everybody has a mask on, though. That's kind of like you saw in like the very start.
We live in a society, of course.
Yeah, it's the old masquerade of Red Death, or at least bloody handprint.
Yeah,
if you would.
The mask of the Red Death is illimitable.
Yeah, it's like, no, this is just supposed to... the idea behind this tutorial is just to show you that things happen in the same way regardless of what you're looking at, and you can just look at it from many different angles to kind of get like a better idea of what the actual events that are unfolding.
Oh, that's really interesting. So that's that is a really good tutorial. I gotta say, that's a really it's kind of like a Portal thing where you learn the game mechanic by seeing something in the most obvious way that makes it clear what's going on with the mechanics. I like that a lot.
Yeah, additionally, the same thing here. Characters don't actually see... You can see where I was going there. I find that funny that it's just like, yeah... it would even let me run directly there, but not actually let me into the well, whatever. Anyway, yeah.
Now, can they see you?
They can't. Like, I, as a character, exist almost outside of like time and space. However, being in the same room as somebody, you can see in the upper left corner when that happens, it's like does kind of like drain health. So basically, I've got to be like skulking around, trying to understand events from like different perspectives, and then but also staying away from anybody. Like, I can hide in the closet to not be affected by that, but yeah, it's not like if that guy saw me, he would try and shoot me or something. I'm like just not there.
Now, I have a question about this pocket watch. So I got done replaying Return of the Obra Dinn.
I knew it. I knew you were going to reference Obra Dinn.
Oh, is it that kind of thing where it's like a...
It is exactly that kind of thing.
Okay. By the way, that is a great game. I love it. Return of the Obra Dinn. This is not the same quite, because you're not going back to the moment of death. It's just you're restarting to the day in which the murders happened. Now, you're trying to prevent these murders. Is that correct?
Well, but I'm certainly not trying to cause them. That would be weird. Although that would be an interesting idea for a game.
Yeah.
No. Really. It's very similar to Shadow of Destiny for the Dreamcast.
Yeah, which I have definitely played. No, I'm just kidding.
Okay, fine. It's more like David, Shadow of Destiny is the one I had. That was the one reference I had. If you haven't played Shadow of Destiny, then I don't know.
Well, it's going to be like, well, you're just going to explain Shadow of Destiny, and it's like, well, why didn't you just explain this game?
Well, sure. Okay, fine. The time loop. We're using magic pocket watches to prevent murders, and I'm sure you probably saw from the inventory screen that there is more than just one. This is just your tutorial guy. Saving Sixpence here is simple, which is why this is not a tremendously long episode, but still does require a little bit of like understanding of the basic mechanics. So yeah, up until this point we've seen that, okay, so guy runs over, grabs a gun, Sixpence looks inside of a vault, doesn't find anything of interest, they both go into the chapel, gets shot. And that is pretty much what I'm looking at. So I got to kind of like stay out of the gun room when the guy's in there. Got to stay out of the vault room when Sixpence is in there, and then figure out how to save him in some way. And it's like the game does very much like give you a good idea of where everybody is at all points in time. You can even look on the map to see like their relative position and like scrub through the timeline to see where they move from each time. There's going to be a lot of planning. Meticulous, I described it as before, and I think that is the best way to put it.
So it's like it's a counter murder plan. Like you have to be. It's kind of like Groundhog Day. If you're familiar like with the part where he goes through and he has to do all this stuff in this specific order, and he knows when things are going to happen, but he has to be in a perfect place to say rescue the cat at 10.
Yeah, but you can't actually meet up with any one of the characters, or else I die.
Oh, that's interesting.
It's kind of hard to say. I haven't had that happen just yet, but I suppose we'll see later in the game. But first off, time to look at everything in the entire whatever area of the Sexy Brutale I'm actually in right now.
So are all of the murders going to be like these 5-hour things, or is it going to be like different every time?
No, the idea is that I'm trying to like save the guy so that he can fix his pocket watch, because that is his pocket watch.
Oh, okay. And then after that, it would be like 12 hours possibly.
Mm-hmm. And then it's just like you're gonna have a full day to figure it out.
Uh-huh.
But until then, we got some time. Also, yeah, is that Kronos eating his son? It sure is. Everybody's favorite favorite classical painting to include in stuff.
Uh-huh.
So yeah, another mechanic you can see is that your mask starts to glow whenever somebody is in a room like near you. So that is actually helpful, just making sure that you don't have to peek through everything, but still means that like, yep.
Right now, I'm noticing this game seems to be a good mix of the highbrow and the lowbrow, in the sense that it's simultaneously this highfalutin murder mystery. Well, I guess murder mystery is pretty lowbrow, but like it's this, finally, we've got this classical references, wine and all this stuff, and this fancy mansion and stuff, and yet it's cartoonish, like the graphics.
Oh, it's extremely cartoony. Okay, blank cartridge. That seems very obvious what I need to do here. But of course, tutorial. I'm sure it's going to get a lot more complicated later. What was actually in here? No, it really is nothing valuable. But what was he doing in here? Very strange type of thing.
Do you always start in that room with the grandfather clock? In this
yes, tutorial? That is actually going to be a thing coming up a little bit later.
Okay, because I think that's got to be one of the biggest. If I'm just thinking about this in terms of a puzzle, that's got to be the hardest constraint. You know what I mean? Like that you have to be located and it's gone. Because if I'm
you have to be located in a specific place before you're able, so that you have to plan everything out. Because everything is on a timer. Of course.
Yeah, and I mean, what I would do, this is me thinking as a game designer here. I'm not a game designer, it's just, that's what I would do, is I would make it the first one really far away. So if you really understand what's going on, then you only have enough time where it automatically has to use up a good hour, an hour and a half, just to get to the first location. And that by itself is going to be like the proof that you understand what's going on.
Yeah, and as you can see, time goes fast. Like we're almost done with the first hour already. Like you do not have a whole lot of time to do stuff, but that is entirely intentional.
And I'm assuming like your inventory resets when you go back. Is that right?
Yeah, and here I wasn't paying attention. So yeah, you can get a much better idea of exactly how it works. So Sixpence cannot see me. I'm taking damage in the upper left corner, and yeah, just gotta like book it on out of there. It seems to be pretty generous, but that's only for right now, really. Okay, I got it. I couldn't remember if he was already in there or not. The tutorial is at least pretty, and then you can see him like walk right through the hall in that way to show it, and it's like, no, he's still in there. I should be. I'm sure as you get a little bit farther in the game, like being able to knowing where characters are, so you don't actually have to like peek through things before, running in there is going to be important.
Yeah.
But as it is, the idea here is that I'm going to run into this room, grab the blank cartridge, replace it in the gun. There, we're done. Oh, it's in the safe.
Okay,
yeah.
So
all right.
So kind of a hole in the bucket kind of mechanic here.
Yeah, because I don't know the combination for the safe or something. But the question, though, is, like, how long do I have then to replace the bullet before Sixpence gets shot.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think that's pretty clear. You have until 5 o'clock.
No,
no, because you have to get it.
When is the gun actually grabbed, though?
Yeah, he gets it. I see. That makes sense.
Because the number 2 guy, I don't even know what that guy's name is he doesn't actually bring the gun with him. He grabs it from the wall eventually.
Uh-huh.
And that is the big question. Thankfully, wherever he's coming from, it's not a place that... Yeah, here we go. Okay?
Okay, so...
Sprint right in there and grab that thing. I don't know how long I got.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I guess one of the other things in the game, and you might have seen this in... I didn't actually show this off just yet. Nobody didn't grab the gun yet, so good enough.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, one of the things I didn't look at just yet is that in the hallway to my right, the eastward, let's just call it that, it's that there is a door that has like a blue aura around it. And pretty much you can't go through those doors, but characters can come through those doors. It's just because I got magic wacky stuff going on.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I do like that this is a nice little, like, you go right to the cutscene, and it's like, well, I'm gonna shoot you with these bullets.
And then didn't.
Yep.
Okay, start running already or something.
Uh-huh.
He's got more bullets in there, you know.
Uh-huh. Otherwise, while I meticulously reload this, you better not move.
There we go. That'll work.
Okay.
But yeah,
the priest with the candlestick at the altar.
That's probably the exact reference that they were going for, too.
Yeah.
And yeah, I guess when you solve the puzzle, it just kind of jumps right to the actual event that happens. Which this one, fairly simple, but I'm sure is going to be, God, just so much more difficult later on. Yeah. I can just imagine this game gets real wacky eventually.
I'm curious if one of the things they're going to do is whether this is a pretty linear, obviously, tutorial. I wonder if they're going to play with that a little bit and say there are multiple endings and you have to go through all of them to, solve the quote-unquote true ending for the murder mystery. You know what I mean? Like,
it's hard to say.
Zero Escape, you have to go through all the endings to, blah, 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 if you play Zero Escape.
So far, it does seem very, it's puzzle focused. Like, you solve the puzzle and then you're done, but I don't know what the future's going to bring with this.
Yeah. It's interesting.
It is definitely an interesting premise, yeah. That said, I can just imagine this is going to get so incredibly frustrating because everything's on a timer and everything that.
Yeah. Uh-huh. I mean, I think it'll make it a good series.
We'll see. We'll see. I mean, as always, this one was one of the suggested games, and I believe they also suggested the game to you too. So
yeah, I actually bought it. I have not played it.
Hey, if you feel like being the knowledgeable person on the subject, as I'm kind of fumbling around playing it myself, I suppose that would be something.
I do really like the premise of this. Just it's such a great puzzle idea. I play a lot of little puzzle games and a lot of platformers that are basically puzzle platformers. So yeah, I mean,
and you also get upgrades too. So I can jump between 4 p.m. and 8 p.m. in case you don't want to just kill 4 hours.
Well, the thing about upgrades though is, of course, that runs both ways. I mean, it means that the levels themselves are going to get more and more frustrating as you get more and more powers.
I will see, I suppose.
I guess it's not necessarily the case. That strikes me as they're going to give you a power, and then you're going to have to use the power and integrate it with your other power.
Well,
you're up. Yeah.
We'll see.
Uh-huh.
In the meantime, is that guy just dead over there? I didn't think that it was going to be an equivalent exchange here.
Yeah.
But yeah, speaking of the premise of the game, this is also very similar to another game, one that you wouldn't really expect, the Gregory Horror Show game for the PlayStation 2 of anything. I know, right? which is a licensed game based on an old CG cartoon that you can actually just watch entirely on YouTube right now, I believe.
Wow.
We're basically like, yeah, you're in a mansion, you are following around guests, looking at their daily routines and everything, trying to like understand that, and then solving some sort of puzzle to steal a soul from them in that case. But here it's obviously try and prevent murders, which is just that combined with Shadow of Destiny. It's like, I'm sure. Title drop.
Yep, that's nice. That's like an A24 thing. Just, put it in there. Make it a really, or really make it feel like a real Tarantino kind of movie, just really highbrow,
with like the hard cut and everything.
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah, right there, Reginald Sixpence, number 1, and then we get the basic seeing what's going on here. But yeah, Shadow of Destiny, and like the Gregory Horror Show PS2 game is just not. I don't think that this game is supposed to be like a reference to that, but the comparisons are just so. Now Ghost Trick would be another one, I suppose.
I'm out of highbrow references. Look, this is Luigi's Mansion.
Okay, in the sense that there are ground floor, first floor. This game is very British.
Yeah.
I mean, as if you couldn't guess that from the flag option in the language. What do we got, baby? It's a casino. I'm ready to casino. Wait, how do you win this?
Well, it's
how do you do anything? In fact. Yep.
It's not like it's actually not like blackjack. It's the one that James Bond plays, like Bacchanal or whatever.
Baccarat.
Baccarat, yes.
I couldn't see that person again.
You have
I'm going to rewind time just to look at that.
You have to get exactly 9.
Is that how that works? I've never played Baccarat before.
I don't know. I'm sorry. I just.
Boy, I wonder where the casino is.
I told you I was out of highbrow references.
Oh, well, I mean, that's okay. So there's Sai Nojima's palace over there. No, and there's your reference.
Yeah. This kind of reminds me of Persona.
Collectibles.
No, it doesn't.
Jazz, just like Persona 5. Yeah, there's the blue aura doors, which are the ones that I can't actually go through. Still take a look though. Not that there's much in here.
So is it linear in the sense that you go from one mystery to the next mystery? Like it's a sequence?
It seems like that is right now, but you did say like there could be multiple ways to solve it and stuff like that. I don't know.
Yeah, and you kind of wonder anytime you have like a game like this. I mean, we're familiar with like meta puzzle games with like Baba Is You, Mario's Time Machine, other highbrow reference, where you have to use all of the, the combined knowledge that you get from various, the various strands to put them all together for the finale. That wouldn't surprise me.
Nope, not at all. I mean, it's like I would think that. It's like that would be what I would expect. Almost.
Yeah, if anything.
It's like, okay, now we got to know how everybody works in the entire game and put that all together.
Yeah, exactly. What do the cards do? Do we know that yet?
There's 52 of them. I can pick them up. I'm shrugging otherwise. Now, lock doors. But it's just like, as we've seen before, items kind of disappear from the probably not the cards, but the items seem to disappear from the inventory if I go back in time. So yeah, you can't just go through and grab everything you need, go back in time, and then have all the time in the world as my eyes turn into clocks that start spinning backwards. By the way, they did say that right at the start of the game. I should have. That would be the time to make the reference.
I will say, a backwards clock is right 4 times a day. I mean, assuming it's going normal speed.
Provided that it also goes back forwards. Or it's all right all the time. No? Wait. Yeah. Oh, no, you told me to do math. Now I'm confused.
Well, I just mean it's going backwards at the same time that other clocks going forward-wise.
Well, anyway, here's this thing. This is what I was talking about before, where it's like, so you can get checkpoints at the individual clocks, but you have to have a key, like specific keys, because this is one of those like rich people thing where they have specially built puzzle clocks in every part of the hotel.
Well, yeah, and you have to get them from other parts of the hotel by solving other murders.
Well, anyway, if I could just teleport through blood, that'd also be great too.
So I'm wondering if that's how they're going to do this. Like, they're going to make it so that you can theoretically, you can solve any mystery, but really, realistically, it's gated by the number of keys and clocks that you have.
Well, it's not even that, but I think it's also that there are those doors with like the blue aura things around them.
Okay,
so
yeah.
Can only go to specific. Maybe that'll open up a little bit later on. I'm sure that once I get like full access to the entire mansion, that is just going to be like sprinting from one place to another trying to figure it out. Oh boy.
Also,
but at least for right now, it eases you in, because this is going to be a rough game.
I think this is going to be
appreciate
pretty difficult. There's a lot of potential for this to be ridiculously difficult.
That's why it's just like I'm excited and also somewhat scared to see what the future brings.